All right, everybody, welcome back. So in the last video, we focused on the areas of iMovie in the top section. Uh, this video, we're going to shift the focus a little bit down here. We're going to focus on two things. We're going to focus on what we call the timeline, which is this thing that I'm dragging through right now, and this arrow right here. This is called the playhead. So we're going to focus on the timeline first. So your timeline shows all of the clips, and when I say clips, I mean video clips, titles, transitions, audio files, everything. Shows the clips in the order that you have them. Now the great thing about iMovie is you can take the clips and put them in the order you want. So to do that, you click and drag them. So I'm going to take this title that I did in the last movie, or in the last video. I'm going to click it, and you see how it's highlighted yellow. I'm going to click, and I'm actually going to drag it all the way to the start. And now, this, when I play the whole iMovie, this will be the beginning of it. So if I hit play, there it is. Even though technically that should be at the end. But there you go. So that's how the timeline works. Now, over here is the clock. This clock shows you how long your film actually is. So mine is 19 seconds long. I can actually take my timeline and I can expand it, or I can shrink it. Now when I'm shrinking it, I'm not changing the length of the movie. I'm just changing how much of the timeline I see. The timeline will be as long as you need it to be. It does not end, so you could keep putting clips for as long as you can. So that's really all there is to the timeline. Now I'm going to focus on the playhead. Before I do that, I'm going to change my settings back a little bit. Okay, so the playhead is this line here. Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's white, sometimes it's yellow. How we move the playhead is by either clicking it and dragging it, and we can click and drag it anywhere we want. As you can see, I can click and drag it to any moment. The other, more efficient way is to click this rewind button here. And when I click the rewind button, it will stop at the end or the beginning of any clip that you have. So when I hit it again, you see how it stopped here, right at the beginning of this clip? This is a quicker way to get to the beginning of your movie if your movie is very long. So when I hit play, what happens is the playhead goes along, and anything that the playhead goes on is the length of the clip itself. So you see how it's going, and then what we see it pass over is what we're seeing in this box. So there is how that works. What else did I want to show you with that? The other thing that the playhead is very good for is setting up some interesting effects. So I'm going to move the playhead to any random spot. Let's call it right here. Okay. Now when I do that, and this is in your guide, if you hit this modify button, you get a whole list of fun options. So one of them is fade to. So let's try that out. We're going to fade to sepia, which is always fun. And now you see it has split the clip and has changed it a little bit. So I'm going to move my playhead back by clicking and dragging it just a little bit. And you see how now it sort of has faded into a different color. This color is called sepia, by the way. We could change that if we wanted to into black and white. But let's see if we can show you that real fast. So see, we could go fade to black and white. Same idea. Put my playhead here. And then there it goes. So that's another interesting thing that the playhead can be used for. Now, another fun thing that it can do is we can do what we call flash and freeze frame. So I'm going to hit this at the playhead and watch what's going to happen now. So now I have this new effect. And if you remember, I also have a transition from before. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the playhead right here. And this time I'm going to rewind it. There we go. Now watch what's going to happen. It froze. See that? And then it resumes playing. And that's it. Guys, I'm sorry for the weird sound coming out of the clip. I'm not sure why it's making that weird breathing sound, but there you go. So that is it. That's how you use the playhead to change your movie and how you use the timeline to understand where you are. And we will see you in the next video. Take care.